The kid placed a marble on the floor, and it rolled straight toward the balcony. Jack was stunned. His new house was tilted. He tried it himself, but this time the marble stayed perfectly still. His wife laughed and told him he was overthinking it. The next morning, Jack was jolted awake by violent shaking. He threw open the window and froze. A massive crack had split the street outside. Suddenly, the ceiling caved in, and in the next instant, his building plummeted downward. Within seconds, the entire apartment complex had dropped into a gigantic sinkhole. Luckily, the building wedged itself halfway down instead of falling all the way. Just then, a car came crashing through his living room wall. When it finally stopped, Jack realized the driver was his coworker. He rushed over to help, but yanked so hard on the door handle that it came right off. As the car teetered on the edge, the building dropped again, pinning the vehicle against the side of the pit. His coworker barely made it out alive. Jack pulled him to safety, and they set off to find other survivors. When they reached the roof, they were horrified to see how deep they were. No cell signal at all. Meanwhile, rescue teams had arrived at the scene. They sent a drone down to scout, but it lost signal halfway and crashed onto the building's roof. The survivors were ecstatic when they spotted the fallen drone. One man grabbed it and screamed for help, but his shouts triggered disaster. The building plunged again. Everyone clutched desperately at anything they could grab. Jack's coworker slid toward the edge. A female neighbor spotted an electrical cord above and scrambled to reach it. She tossed it to him and pulled with all her might, but the old wire snapped under the weight. Just in time, they managed to grab Jack's foot and hang on for dear life. Then the drone suddenly reconnected and flew back up the pit. After receiving the distress call, rescuers quickly lowered supplies and a phone. Finally, they could talk to their families. But when Jack spoke to his wife, he learned she hadn't taken their son grocery shopping. That meant his boy was trapped somewhere in this hellhole. Desperate to save his son, Jack decided to search the lower floors for his missing child. Today's recommendation is Sinkhole, a South Korean disaster thriller. Unfortunately, I can only share this much due to copyright restrictions. If you're interested, feel free to search for the full movie online. Thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with more great films. See you next time.